Once an old man was flying his kite when suddenly a young stranger came running up behind him. "Sir," he hollered. "Excuse me, sir." "Yes?" the old man smiled. Out of breath, the young stranger looked up at the old man's kite with amazement. "What a marvelous kite!" he exclaimed. "I'd pay anything to take it off your hands." "Oh no," the old man chuckled. "It's not for sale. But I must ask, why do you want to buy it? Surely you must have a price," the young stranger persisted, ignoring the old man's question. "But then I'd have nothing to fly," the old man sighed. "Plus, I made this kite myself." "Nevertheless, what makes you so interested in my kite?" "To create more with the same design," the young stranger declared. "Then what?" the old man puzzled. "Why, sell them, of course," the young stranger cheered. "They would surely fetch a fortune on the market." To this, the old man reeled in his kite, then handed it over to the young stranger. "You may borrow it for free," he smiled, "as I've never been one to stifle a young dreamer." And so the young stranger accepted this great act of kindness. Then he quickly proceeded to his workshop. But when he returned several weeks later, the old man already knew exactly how it had gone. You see, the young stranger was quite the talented carpenter, one who was more than capable of copying the old man's kite design to a T. And so that's exactly what he did. Once he got the first prototype working, he moved on to the second, then the third, then a dozen, then 100 kites, each as beautiful as the original. From his calculations, he could reap a full year's worth of earnings by selling each kite at even a modest price. And so, with his kites in hand, he made his way to the market. There he set up a beautiful stand that caught the attention of every onlooker passing by. Next, he painted a beautiful sign and brought a big lock box to his stand in which he would store all of his earnings. But a day went by and no one bought. Then a week went by, still no one bought. Finally, at the end of the second week, he decided to throw in the towel. Despite his best efforts, and despite all of the people who came by and asked many questions about the kites, not a single person bought. So it was back to the old man he went, back to return the original kite, only now he was no longer a stranger. Now he was a failed kite salesman. "So?" the old man asked. "How'd it go?" "Terribly," the kite salesman sighed. "Not a single person wanted a kite." "Well, don't give up just yet," the old man said. "But I've tried everything," the kite salesman protested. "Not everything," the old man grinned. "Come with me." And so the kite salesman followed the old man to a nearby park. There, the old man flew his kite, as he normally did. But what came next took the kite salesman by complete surprise. One by one, strangers approached, asking where the old man had purchased his kite, and each time the old man simply pointed to the kite salesman. But the old man also stated the price he paid, a price that was even higher than what the kite salesman had listed on the market. Soon, the park was filled with kites soaring high in the air. Then the duo proceeded to the beach, then the hills, then the cove. Each time, the old man simply flew his kite, and each time strangers came in droves, until every last kite had been bought. But instead of 1 year's earnings, the kite salesman had earned 2. "I don't understand," the kite salesman said. "Why didn't they buy any at the market? I know for a fact that some of those same people walked right past my stand." To this, the old man smiled. "Think about it this way," he said. "You could walk a mile with an Olympic runner, or talk to an amazing singer for hours without the slightest hint of their incredible talent. Just as it's true in life, it's true with kites. And so my lesson to you is this: sometimes you have to let the world see you fly, so they don't just pass you by."